Okay, I should be going live now. Let me check. I should probably have this open.
Did you notify people on Twitter? Did you notify
Yeah,
people on Twitter?
yeah, I posted it everywhere like 30 minutes ago. Alright, we're
I'm
good.
sure all of our fans will
Alright, we're
appreciate
good.
this. I'm sure
Yeah.
all of our fans will appreciate this.
Story time's coming. It's coming, guys.
Story
Story time's coming. It's coming, guys.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Scrappy Fan 92, and this is Story Time with Scrappy and Friends. With me today are Harry, Tanner, and Raideran.
Golly, turd!
What's up?
Turd!
That's why I don't let you do introductions.
I just said what's up, and you just
Not you, Tanner.
No. He said, and Harry was like, a normal conversation. How can I make this about Homestar Runner?
I just like saying random things for no context.
Yeah, I noticed.
Every time you throw me off, Harry, you stay up a few more minutes. I'm not the one suffering here. So, we are back to read the sixth and unfortunately final chapter of Future Mario Brothers by Dan, I don't know.
I'm expecting this to end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it won't be resolved. It won't be.
I'm trying to recall this, like, from what I recall, like, I'm going to be proven wrong, most likely, but based on what I remember from reading this, 10 plus years ago, like, this specific, like, mini arc is mostly resolved. It's just, like, the battle's won, the war's not over, so...
Okay.
That's unfortunate, dude.
So, every American action cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
It's like my gameplay of Fire Emblem 4.
See, I was gonna make the comparison because I've been watching the show. I was gonna make the comparison to Venture Brothers, but that got a movie. That movie got confirmed, so can't make that. God, I'm sorry. Hey, I'll bring up all my hyperfixations.
No, it's fine. What was I gonna say? So, I guess before we begin in earnest, I'd like to apologize to certain audience members for comments I made last week. Like, if you know, you know, so I apologize for that. And
I don't remember anything about this.
Yeah,
you don't remember anything we read or anything I commentate over.
I don't remember you saying anything problematic or anything.
That's the thing. I don't. Everything I remember is from Tanner.
Yeah, and that's I would very much like to clarify that. No, I do not support Hitler. Do not support the Nazis. I was saying that the mastermind wearing a Bowser helmet is the equivalent of if neo-Nazis wore a paper mask of Hitler's face instead of just swastikas. It was just funny.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So that and everything else, we're sorry.
Yeah, that might be that, and I mean that's a pretty high bar, but that might clear the that might be the gold medal, the gold medalist for most racist episode of our show.
Our slogan or whatever should just be "Welcome to Storytime. We're sorry."
Yeah, basically.
The slogan is, we have many slogans, but
Our slogan is, the opinions of Tanner do not reflect the opinions of our co-hosts.
Anyway,
I was going to say the opinions of Tanner do not reflect the opinions of Tanner.
They don't. I haven't known what I am in years. It's fine.
Tanner out here saying, for legal reasons, I have to say everything is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Nova's in the stream chat.
Hi, Nova. So, this is Future Mario Brothers, Chapter 6, Lost. That's just the name of the chapter. And, by the way, we'll be reprising all of our roles that we had last time. So, I'm Mario, Bruno, Polly, if they show up. Tanner is Luigi, K. Rool's descendant, and the mastermind. Raiderand is Cherry, and Tanner's also Jeebs, and we fill in for whoever else shows up.
I like that I have two characters who are like explicitly British, and one of them is just a rustier. One of them is just a more gravelly version of the other's voice.
It is what it is. Mel Blanc's Daffy is just Sylvester slowed down.
That's true. No, I thought it was the other. Oh wait, no, it's sped up because Daffy's voice is higher.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean.
Hear the comprehensive history of Looney Tunes voice acting. Stay for the first 15 minutes of this stream. If you would like to hear the story, tune in next week.
Pretty much. So, yeah.
Sorry that I do not know how to speak right now.
You're in good company. So, this is Chapter 6, Lost. The future has no certainty. The story has no conclusion either. So,
it's meta.
How the mighty had fallen. 1 minute, K. Rool, appointed king of the Kremlings, was basking in the glory handed over to him by the mastermind as Lord of Donkey Kong Island and the small patches of islands surrounding it. But in the next minute, he found himself dragged out of his ivory temple by his red cape by a furious small plumber, with his friends in tow.
Smith, I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Pleaded the defeated reptile.
Honest, I have. Let me go now.
Not till you tell us where my little brother is, warned Mario. He then stopped in the middle of a sandy circle, where perhaps hundreds of Kremlings would gather regularly. K. Rool was now completely surrounded by his enemies. Or rather, surrounded completely by his enemies. Mario, Bruno, and a new Donkey Kong and Zinger swarm close by. DK was now wearing his ancestor's tie, as well as his red bandana wrapped around his scalp. The Zingers leaned back and showed their stingers to K. Rool threateningly.
He could be anywhere,
Gasped K. Rool as he rubbed his strained neck.
I just told them to take the prisoner to the master. That's all.
Just then, Bruno stood over the crocodilian. Crocodilian with his arms crossed. And where exactly is your master?
I don't know.
Yes! Barked Mario. He tapped his foot impatiently. K. Rool gulped.
Okay. He parked his airship somewhere around here. Yes, check the airship. It should be right over here by Lake
Boom! Without warning, the soft sand beneath everyone's feet exploded, and a massive metal giant popped out of the earth like a geyser. The Zingers and their queen were so startled by this that they fled the scene immediately in a frenzied panic. Mario and his friends were knocked for a loop, while the helpless K. Rool was now right underneath the behemoth known as the Mastermind. It seemed that he was hiding right underneath their noses the whole time. While sand was still pouring down his armor, Mastermind's mighty claw fell on K. Rool, clutching him mercilessly. The crocodile gasped for air as he was being buried halfway in sand. Bruno's eyes popped out in shock. It's him! It's my uncle! Whew! Mastermind! Muttered the sand-kicked Mario. K. Rool struggled in his master's death grip.
Oh! Just in time! Oh, Master! That's who you're looking for! I found them for you!
Red beacons burned through the dark Iron Koopa King mask.
Point me, K. Rool. Your enemies have already beaten you.
But we can still take them!
So do you. Now let me concentrate. I have my own problems right now.
No, you fool. There is no...
You, cut out a bit a few times.
Sorry.
But we can still take them.
We... No, you fool. There is no we.
The Kremlin King gulped in terror.
But... Loyally! My Kremlings and I have guarded this island for years.
There, the elevator I need is right there.
Kremlings are not here.
Parker,
They have abandoned you.
No, they wouldn't. They couldn't!
not for...
I'm sorry, once more.
Oh, yeah.
But they did.
Thank you. Reassured the mastermind.
Perhaps they've grown tired of you. As have I.
With that, his grip on K-Rule began to tighten. The crocodile's breath was cut short as his life was beginning to be squeezed out of him.
Experiment.
With one last death grip, Mastermind had severed the... Jesus. Pardon my language. Mastermind had severed the Kremlin King's spine in several places and watched emotionlessly as his life force, consumed in a white light, fizzed into the air completely. Rated E for everyone.
4 kids edited death. They ripped out his spine, but they said, oh, they just went poof.
Bruno, Mario, and Donkey Kong gasped in horror at the sight. They couldn't believe what they had just seen. The Mastermind had killed his own servant. Mario never felt so furious. He began to He began to feel a fire from deep within. One so powerful, he felt like he could set himself ablaze.
He's been trying to kill you and people close to you for a while now. Killing one of his henchmen is where you draw the line? I guess it's a loyalty thing.
I don't think they never met face to face until now.
Mm-hmm.
See, the Mastermind brushed off the remaining particles of K-Rool's life force from his steel claws. They just kind of disappeared to smoke. What would that even be?
That would be like, no, yeah, that'd be a little like ashes. He's got like little cigarette ashes on him.
Jeez. Just then, he heard someone scream, "You!" Curiously, he looked up and saw a small red blur speeding his way. It was Mario, charging at the speed of a bullet bill. I'm sorry. I'm done now. The plumber threw a few mad punches at the Koopa-shaped centaur before making a super jump in the air. Okay, face, meet my foot! Mario's boot pounded the very forehead of Mastermind's iron mask, but it had no effect other than breaking Mario's gravity boot. He fell clumsily to the ground, reeling in pain. Amused, the Mastermind smiled from within his mask.
Do that again. It tickled.
I am very uncomfortable right now.
What did you... You should be.
The little red plumber growled as he tried to get back up, but to his surprise, Bruno stepped forward. Uncle Brutus, stop this! You've gone way too far! There was a small, awkward pause between them. The metal behemoth mused softly.
Brutus. No one's called me that in a long time.
As Mario paused in awe at the sound of the Mastermind's real name, Bruno shielded him with his broad body. You want to stop, Uncle. All this death and destruction is meaningless. Mastermind's claws clenched.
That shows just how little you know, Bruno. The glory of conquest is what makes us Koopas strong. It makes us what we are.
You're nothing but a monster, called out Mario, who stepped out of Bruno's shadow. Now you do what Bruno... Hello, excuse me, pardon me. You do what Bruno says, or you're gonna get hurt. Get out of here and give me back my brother.
Yeah, 'cause hurting me, that's gone really well for you so far.
Hot smoke puffed through Mastermind's nostrils.
Your brother? Oh, yes, the green one. I believe he's dead.
Mario's face flushed white upon hearing those words. Seeing him in such a state of shock amused a cold-hearted mastermind. He giggled.
Yes, he must have met his end by now. He looked so weak, so incompetent.
What the hell?
Looks so
Peter Griffin.
He looks so freaking incompetent, Lois. Why? That's such a great evil laugh. It's not even like.
Okay, I think this is more Italian. I don't know how to pronounce this. Ora morite? Yeah. I'm just gonna presume that's like, I don't know. I should have
I
looked
think
this up.
it's die.
Probably. So, die, you monster, screamed the plumber, whose face was now as red as his shirt and cap. Once again, he charged the metal beast as if his previous failure never happened. Mastermind saw him coming this time, and countered Mario's charge with a quick and heavy swipe of his gray tail. The impact knocked Mario clean into the forest. His landing was unseen, but heard from a distance. Bruno's fists clenched vengefully at Mastermind. He'll pay for this, Uncle. When I find my father, he'll...
Oh, yes, your father. I nearly forgot about him.
mused the Mastermind.
When you do find him, Bruno, remember to give him this little present from me.
The Mastermind shell then split open, and dozens of tiny machines flew from it, like bees exiting a hive. Bruno recognized them instantly. They were packets of mind-bending headbands.
Why would you reveal that you were gonna do that to him? You idiot.
It's mind-bending headbands. He quickly grabbed young Donkey Kong and retreated to the forest as a swarm of magnetic packets followed them.
Run while you can, my dear nephew.
Laughed the Mastermind.
You won't get far. This is an island, after all.
Just
No, never mind. He's got
yeah,
plenty.
yeah, a proper evil laugh. Let's see. Just then, he noticed somebody crawling out of the temple in humble defeat. It was Silverback, still bruised up by his self-inflicted wounds. Mastermind glared at him with instant interest.
You there.
He pointed to the ape.
I have a proposition for you. And you can definitely trust me. Just listen to my voice.
Meanwhile, in the Mushroom Kingdom, Princess Cherry paced back and forth in her throne room with anxiety written all over her face. Her fiancé Bruno hadn't contacted her in over 3 hours, and the sunlight was quickly disappearing in the sky. Something in her stomach was telling her that something was going wrong. As she walked laps across the room, her oldest of advisors, Jeeves, sat comfortably in a small chair next to the royal throne. The elderly Toad stroked his long white beard while lost in deep thought.
I'm sure Bruno's. Excuse me. I'm sure Bruno's much too busy to phone us.
Was his conclusion.
That's for like what, 3 hours, and that's what you came to?
The princess sighed despondently.
It's not that, Jeeves. Something's happened. I can feel it. Something really bad is happening over there. I should have gone with them.
Nonsense.
Frowned Jeeves.
Your place is here, Princess. Besides, the jungle is no place for a lady like yourself.
Cherry paused with a grimace.
I'm not helpless, Jeeves. I can take care of myself.
Her advisor cooed.
Oh, I meant nothing by it, Your Highness. I know you've got the blood of heroes in you. I was just...
I know, Jeeves. I know.
Cherry replied with a tone of guilt in her voice.
I just wish I could do more than just sit around here all day.
Sitting around all day was a task someone else in that room was growing tired of. Silently and secretly, the spy guy camera peered through a crack in the south wall. Its single eye stared blankly at the young princess, waiting ever so patiently for a change in action, or at least for a command from its far-off master. But neither came, and the small camera with the thin spider legs was beginning to wonder if it was serving its purpose at all. Perhaps if it zoomed in on Princess Cherry, things would change. Zip. Though the zooming camera was as small as a mouse, its sound was the only one in the room at the time, and the princess's ears picked it up with uncanny accuracy.
What was that?
She gasped, goodness, tilting her head toward the south wall.
What was that?
Blinked the elderly toad. Cherry scanned the walls, but saw nothing.
I thought I heard something. Never mind. It was just my imagination.
I'm becoming senile like your old servant.
The spy guy curled into the back of the wall just in time. That was a close one. It was beginning to wonder just how much longer this charade could go on before its jig was finally up. Back at the Congo, separated from his friends, the young Donkey Kong swung through the trees like a pro in a desperate search for a familiar face. The little chimp nearly tripped on his own necktie as he perched himself on a bare tree branch which overlooked an open field. The first he had seen since he ran screaming from Mastermind's brain mortars. A quick glance around, and he finally spotted what, or rather who, he was looking for. A small, red-clad plumber lay physically beaten and spiritually broken by a lake, his footwear reduced to his original brown shoes. He sobbed pitifully, mourning the loss of his would-be twin brother. Mario had never been defeated so quickly and so painfully. Surely, if he couldn't withstand a single blow from the Mastermind, then Luigi... No. He couldn't bear the thought of it. Mario's grief was shattered by a simple tap on the head by a curious little ape. He gasped as he jumped to his feet. He soon realized that it was little Donkey Kong that suddenly appeared by his side. Oh, it's you. He didn't sound all too happy to see the little chimp, which hurt DK's feelings a bit. Who's Dinky/Donkey Kong?
I do not know, and my throat is already kind of getting like worn out from Mastermind, so I do not also want to do monkey screeches.
Yeah, I don't even remember who was Dinky. I feel like it was Tanner.
I think it was you or me.
Yeah,
It was not me. I
I already live in. Look, I have an apartment now, and I'm already probably getting weird looks, and I really don't want them hearing the monkey noises. You know?
Oh, Tanner's got a comment. Not Tanner. Nova's got a comment. Don't kill your voices, paisanos. We'll be right back. So, I mean, okay, because I imagine doing a deep, gravelly voice and animal noises in your same apartment will make people think that you're doing sessions. So,
Yeah, exactly. That's when they see like
Scrappy should do the voice.
That's when they see like a tri-horned goat with like fire in his eyes when they walk in.
so let's see. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Chirp the little ape. Yeah, he chirps like Wario. Chirped the little ape, hopping and pointing to his own face. Mario got the message. What am I doing? He replied while softly rubbing his nose. Oh, you wouldn't understand.
Pulls up overalls.
What? What, Tanner?
Oh, you wouldn't understand. Pulls overalls back up.
Oh my gosh. No, get out. No, I'm not hurt. Not really. DK wasn't getting any real answers, which started to frustrate him. He nudged at Mario's shoes as if trying to encourage him to move. Get off me, little furball! The farmer backed up defensively. You know, you're not the only one who lost something today. I lost my little brother. DK scratched his head. You didn't know I had a brother, did you? Did you see a taller guy around here with a green cap on, who kinda looks like me? DK shook his head. No? Didn't think so. I have no idea where he is, or if he's even alive. Mario hung his head in mourning again. This time, the little chimp looked like he understood. Then DK had an idea. He grabbed onto Mario's pant leg and started to pull at it excitedly. What are you doing? Yelped the confused plumber. Get off, you're gonna tear it! But he couldn't stop the young ape's pulling, as he noticed DK's growing excitement. You wanna go somewhere? DK nodded. And you want me to come with you? Mario scratched his head and sighed. Oh, okay, fine. It's your island. You might as well lead. Reluctantly, Mario urged himself to finally walk, as he followed the young chimp into the wooded forest again. At this point, he was willing to go just about anywhere, so long as he could find a clue to finding Luigi. Meanwhile...
So real quick, I took a look at the previous chapter. No one was Dinky.
They just kind of said, oh yeah, he just kind of chirps, I guess. Like the narrator said it for him.
Yeah, in the previous line, all of Dinky's noises were narration, not actual dialogue.
Okay.
It's a good thing you went back, because even if that was last week, I already forgot that. Let's see. Meanwhile, while inside his enormous airship, which had three different colored monstrous heads at the helm, the mastermind was placing the anesthesia-induced Silverback into a cocoon-like pod. A small computer screen popped up from the top of the pod, and Mastermind's nimble fingers fiddled away at its buttons.
Soon, my friend, you will be a shadow of your former self. A vast improvement awaits you.
Without warning, a red alert blinked on his main left arm. Mastermind was only partially startled by this. He knew it meant that something was amiss elsewhere. He carefully lifted a lid on his arm, which unfolded a very small computer screen. He hummed in curiosity.
It's coming from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, by the way, Rayman, congratulations, you're Spy Guy today.
I think I was a shy guy last week.
Yeah.
So
There was a Spy Guy and a Shy Guy, there was two different ones.
Yeah, the shy guy kind of sounded like Woody Allen.
Yeah, I don't even remember the voice.
Let's see, it's coming from Mushroom Kingdom. He pushed a small screen's one and only button.
So little of them.
He pushed a small screen's one and only button.
Yes.
Master!
Replied a voice through a small radio signal from within the arm.
It's me, Spy Guy. The princess has become aware of my presence here. What should I do?
Mastermind rubbed the chin of his iron mask.
I knew this day would come sooner or later. There is nothing I need from that castle, except perhaps some data on these Mario brothers.
Sir?
There must be some kind of archive of their past hidden somewhere. Find it and bring it to me.
Yes, Master. And what of the princess?
She means nothing to me. If she gets in your way, kill her.
Yes, Master.
Then the signal fizzed out. Mastermind paused to think out loud.
Shame the princess had to live such a short life. Oh well, there was only room for one ruler anyway.
Location, the Badlands. Somewhere between the deepest part of the jungle and a treacherous lava pit sat the Badlands, an earthquake-ravaged Serengeti where steep rocky hills came up and out like fangs from the ground. Hardly anyone set foot here due to the wickedly humid climate and lack of edible vegetation. Therefore, it was the perfect hiding place. Young Donkey Kong, formerly known as Dinky, led Mario to this forbidden land. They stopped at the foot of one particular cave. Mario allowed DK to enter it first, while he stayed outside to make sure it was safe. Even after a wave of small bat creatures called flip-flaps shot out of the cave, Mario was still willing to enter. He knew the little ape wouldn't lead him to just anywhere. When DK peeked outside and nodded, that was Mario's cue to enter. As Mario carefully and slowly entered the cave, he pulled out a small flashlight he picked up from the stuff well, and navigated his way through the dark cavern with it. He soon realized that the cave had levels, all twisting and turning further into the ground. He learned the hard way when he slipped and lost his footing and tumbled down a long slide of soft rock. He landed safely on leaves of palm, much to his surprise. But the next surprise would be even bigger. No longer would he need the flashlight. For the lowest of these caverns came with its own torchlights on the walls. This was a secret dwelling, full of brown apes. They, ranging from infant to elder, walked in steady military lines, capped with mining helmets. The older ones pushed heavy crates of unearthed rock, while the younger ones dug through the walls with pickaxes made of ivory and wood. Mario was stunned at how robotic they seemed to be. Not one ape flinched or peeped at his presence. It was almost like they were in a trance. DK, who had found his way down the mine before him, looked up at the plumber with sad eyes. "I see," frowned Mario. "This is your family." The little ape nodded. "So, do they all work for the mastermind now?" Again, the little ape nodded. Clearly, these great apes had all been rounded up by Mastermind's minions and put to work shortly after his rise to power. All were captured, except one. And that's why he, one of the youngest of gorillas, was the only eligible candidate for the Donkey Kong role. "Well," said Mario as he cracked his knuckles, there's only one thing to do about this." He bravely marched up to a big male ape hauling a minecart, who didn't have the will to even notice him, tipped off his hat, which hid the brain bender on his brow, and quickly yanked it off. In an instant, the cranky gorilla roared in surprise.
I guess that'll do it. Never mind.
Close enough. He then gasped as he rubbed his now bare forehead, not knowing where he was or what he was doing. "Hello!" waved a small human by his side. "I'm Mario. This is Donkey Kong, and we're all in a mine." The big ape scratched his head curiously. "You gotta help us free your friends, capire?" After taking a moment to look around, the big ape nodded. It wouldn't take long for the domino effect to work. The more apes that were freed meant the more help was given to those who freed the others. The man, whose ancestors were made famous for their rivalries with big apes, soon found himself cheered as a hero among them. And of course, little Donkey Kong took part of the credit for himself. Mario and his little ape friend were led to an exit tunnel, which opened up to another section of the Badlands. In the distance, Mario could see a wall of mist before a red and orange backdrop. What appeared to be mountains at first were revealed to be towers of a long-forgotten city, Kremkrok Industries. "Oh, you gotta be kidding me," sighed the little plumber as he recognized the fallen city in the distance. "You mean to tell me you guys were working on fixing the old Kremling city?" One of the big apes shrugged. How was he to know he was working for the enemy? It makes no sense, said Mario doubtfully. Why would the mastermind waste his time in a place like that? Doesn't he have enough of this island already? Nothing is enough for the mastermind. Came a familiar voice all of a sudden. Mario's blood ran cold as he recognized the voice of Bruno, while at the same time picking up on its harshness. As he and the apes turned around, they could see the young Koopa Prince standing atop the cave entrance, with strange cyborg creatures by his side. He stared down at Mario and company with a dirty look his ancestor King Bowser would have given, while a brain-bender headband shimmered on his forehead. "Ah, Bruno, no!" gasped Mario.
Like, that was like you just dropped your wallet while you were jogging. Ah, damn it!
It's like the same energy as Batman in like the animated series when I don't know Harvey fell into something. I guess Harvey, no.
It's like it sounds. Oh man. So
And when you
Do you think Mario really cares?
he's mildly disappointed.
After the last chapter,
like when you have a glass bottle of hot sauce that you accidentally drop on the floor and it shatters.
Oh, Bruno, no, I have to hurt you now. Cyberdos, attack! His company, pink birdos with metallic purple heads, hands, and tails, slid down the rock formation on command. From their nozzle-like snouts, they launched an array of egg-shaped cannonballs called egg grenades, which exploded on impact. Their frenzied attack made most of the apes take cover, while Mario and a brave few, DK included, stood their ground. Quick, we need something to throw back at them, Mario declared. That's you, Tanner.
Yeah.
Belled the first AP he rescued, as he picked up a rather large boulder and threw it like a football towards the Cyberdos. It collided with an egg grenade, but only the Cyberdos would feel the full force of debris. Get up, you numbskulls! Roared Bruno. Get up and fight back! Mario, trying to come up with a plan, signaled to his ape allies. You keep on busy. I'll get the main guy. The big apes nodded and picked up more rocks to throw. With egg grenades and rocks shooting in all directions, Bruno was easily distracted. He wouldn't notice that a small man would come sneaking up from behind him thanks to a slope in the back of the cave entrance. Mario tried to grab his tail, but slipped. This gave Bruno a chance to realize his disadvantage and turn around. Seeing his enemy up close, the Koopa Prince reacted as any Koopa his size would. He hurled a breath of fire at Mario. Yipped Mario, jumping out of the way just barely in time. As his pants were nearly singed, he realized that it had been a long time since his last encounter with such a large Koopa. Bruno then stomped around, trying to shake the earth underneath the plumber. Mario seemed to slide down the steep end of the cave's top, but actually this was part of his strategy. Once Bruno thought he had gotten the better of his opponent, he turned back to face the battle on the ground. A costly mistake. Mario once again scrambled up the cliff while Bruno was distracted, and this time when he reached for Bruno's tail, he got it. Sorry, Bruno, he muttered, but this is for your own good. With Herculean strength, the little plumber yanked Bruno by the tail and began to twirl him, faster and faster, until he became weightless. Once Mario had enough leverage, he let go of Bruno and sent him flying. He would land hard on his head, some feet away, smashing his mind-bending headband to pieces. Mario couldn't just jump on him and rip it off.
so long, Bruno.
Yeah, say it. He just wakes up and it's like, oh, now Bruno's has a concussion. Good job, Mario.
Almost as soon as Mario's battle was over, so was the one fought on the ground. Compared to the strength and number of the gorilla troop, the Cyberdos were pushovers. Perhaps this would not have been such an easy victory had Mario not stumbled upon the captive apes. He giggled as the victorious gorillas wound up the tails of the Cybernos and watched them wound up the tails of the Cybernos and watched them walking into each other like brainless toy soldiers. Mario still stood atop the cave's opening, never realizing that he had been watched by native critters from the tall grass just a short distance away. While he was distracted by the celebrating apes, something sharp pierced his neck. It was a poisoned needle, shot by a blowgun from a hidden critter. All at once, the plumber felt lightheaded and tired, and passed out almost instantly. The apes continued to celebrate their victory, while their savior was secretly stolen away. Back in the Mushroom Kingdom, Jeeves was cheerfully dusting the big round table in the royal conference room while humming to himself, when he heard the strangest sound. It sounded like the tapping of little feet running across the hallway. Had the door not been opened, he might not have heard it at all. Curiosity struck him, and he completely abandoned his chores. As he snuck a peek through the doorway, he could see the shadow of an unfamiliar creature darting in. He could see the shadow of an unfamiliar creature darting into the study room several feet away. While not as alarmed as he should have been, the elderly Toad made quick and quiet steps toward the study. Spy Guy, who up until now was just a tiny camera, had grown into a long spider-legged camera that was about the size of Princess Cherry herself. He scanned the walls of books in the study, which looked very much like a small library, hoping to find anything on the mysterious Mario Brothers. With his X-ray vision, he could pick up on the subject matter of each book without even lifting a metallic finger. Unfortunately for him, nothing in this room even mentioned the name Mario. Or perhaps some did, and he just didn't reach them in time, for his search was soon interrupted.
You there! Who are you?
Jeeves demanded to know, aiming his cane at the robot. Spy Guy lunged at him without a moment of hesitation, and pinned the Toad down with his spider legs. As Jeeves struggled, Spy Guy spoke with a low and harsh voice.
Where do you keep your records on the Mario Brothers?
I beg your pardon?
Gasped Jeeves.
Where are those records?
The robot growled louder.
I don't know what you mean.
Jeeves shook his head, showing hardly any sign of fear.
Please, I can't breathe with you leaning on me like this.
Give me what I'm looking for, and I may let you live.
The Mario Brothers.
Jeeves replied with a struggling breath.
Are only recorded through legends. We have no documents on them.
You lie.
No, you don't understand. They only wanted to be remembered, not idolized.
Yeah, they're not like the others who just seek the fame. So, Jeeves could see.
Nice, I see what you did there.
No, I
That
did
was-
too.
that was brilliant.
Jeeves could see that the robot was raising another leg at him. This one was as sharp as a blade, and it was aiming for his chest.
I've told you all that I know. I swear.
I don't believe you. Perhaps I should ask the princess.
Before Jeeves could protest, Spy Guy's form morphed into that of a fully metal Shy Guy, with red eyes and the camera lens firmly placed on the brow of his mask. Other than being fully metallic, this particular guy was also armed with a katana, and he had dreads on all four limbs. It was as if he was designed to be a ninja.
Well, he's already failed his job. I can see him right here.
He grabbed Jeeves and took off like a bullet. Pardon me. He grabbed Jeeves and took off like a bullet, from the study and through the hall and into the courtyard outside. It was just at the time Cherry was watering her favorite flowers. When Spy Guy came upon... Pardon?
not gonna get any info out of him. You dragged an old guy away at breakneck pace. You know what that's gonna do to his heart rate? He's dead.
Imagine what it does to his spine. Jeez.
Dude, yeah. There is
Mushrooms don't have spines, silly.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Let's see, what's it going? It was just at the time Sherry was watering her favorite flowers. When Spy Guy came upon her, she dropped her water pot like a rock. She watched in horror as Spy Guy's spider legs appeared from his back and acted as ropes to tie up Jeeves. Spy Guy held him up as high as he could and growled.
I have no time for introductions, so I'll cut right to the chase. I'll make you a trade. All data on the Mario Brothers for his life.
Cherry was at a complete loss. She stood there with her mouth gaping as Jeeves struggled to say,
Don't worry about me, Your Highness. I'll be alright.
No,
replied Spy Guy.
he won't.
And with that, his steel rope squeezed Jeeves even tighter.
Stop!
Gasped Cherry.
I'll give you anything you want. Just let him go. Your knowledge of the Mario Brothers is what I require.
Replied the robotic ninja. Cherry paused to breathe, then nodded slowly.
Alright. Let's see. Mario is the clone of my great-grandfather. Luigi is the clone of my great-uncle. Go on. They're Italian. They both love mushrooms and pizza. And what are their weaknesses? I don't know.
Spy Guy put an even harder squeeze on Jeeves.
My patience is waning thin, princess. Talk or he dies. Weaknesses.
Jeeves used up what little strength he had left to blurt out.
Don't tell him anything, Princess.
Spy Guy then drew his katana and rested its sharp end on Jeeves' throat.
No, wait.
Cherry gasped.
Mario has firepower, and Luigi is lightning. Explain.
Cooed Spy Guy, whose temper was now cooled. Cherry sighed.
Mario has what's called Fire Hand. He can only use it when he has enough energy, or when he touches a certain power item. And Luigi, he does the same thing, only with lightning. That's all I know. I swear. Please, let Jeeves go. Perhaps this information will appear as my master for now.
Said Spy Guy monotonously, as his grip on Jeeves began to slowly dissipate. Goodness. He let the small toad fall hard to the ground, but kept by his side. Cherry dared to take a few steps towards her dearest friend, only to stop in her tracks as Spy Guy's katana fell on Jeeves' torso.
No!
She screamed. Spy Guy pulled back his sword and aimed it at her briefly. White spots of light dripped from it, proving the stab to be fatal.
This was just a warning, princess.
He hissed viciously.
I will soon return, and when I do, you had better get your records ready, or there will be more toads to grieve over next time.
The robotic ninja's back opened up, and a pair of jet wings unfolded. With their rocket power, he zoomed into the sky and disappeared in a flash. Cherry dropped to her knees by Jeeves' side. He maintained his peacefulness while his torso bled out white light of pure energy.
Oh, Jeeves.
She sniffed as tears started to fill her eyes.
What? How could they?
The elderly toad's beard and mustache curled as he smiled.
Now, Princess. Don't you worry about little old me. I'm just fine.
No, you're not. I need to get you into the infirmary, and fast.
Please, Jerry, don't waste your time or your tears on me. I was always prepared to die for you.
Jeeves, don't.
I must say, try to keep your hopes up, my dear one. Always. Always know that things will get better.
She sniffled.
Please, please don't leave me like this, Jeeves. Please don't.
I'll never leave you, Jerry. But I do have one special request. That metal chap with the sword. If he ever comes back, give him one for me. Uh, uh,
Despite his protest against it, Cherry couldn't help but sob and cry her eyes out as her oldest and dearest guardian faded into white heavenly light, which soon disappeared into nothingness. She was now all alone in the garden, but it was the very first time in her young life that Princess Cherry truly felt alone. And I actually have to break for a moment.
I do as well. I have to use the bathroom.
People are dying, and you have to use the bathroom?
Everyone dies. Ten and Scrappy are like, I sleep.
And, what? I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll die if I don't treat the ailments of my bowels.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me when I'm bad at conversation.
Yeah, I don't know what to say right now.
I've, I've not been paying attention to stream.
Yeah.
I normally don't, but I just
Right.
look back and I see you skydiving.
Yeah. Oh god.
This is just like that one game of the stars and the foxes.
Yeah.
Like, I see you going through the corridors and I just think Venom.
Oh.
I haven't played enough 64, so I don't know
Oh.
any of the lines Andros says.
Damn it. Okay, that's the Venom you meant. I thought you meant like the symbiote.
No! Oh! Right. I forgot there's a Venom in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was really confused for a minute.
So have you played this game before?
Yeah. I mean, I recently. This is the game I was playing through stream like last week.
Yeah, but like, have you like finished this game before? You know?
Yeah, I have. I've
Because
never.
I noticed some of your tweets say revisit on them,
Oh
like
right.
the
Right.
Spider-Man ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I played through this game before. I've never done all the challenges before though. Uh. Yeah, I didn't realize you saw my Twitter at all.
I I leave a lot of channels unmuted, and I am compelled to clear notifications.
Yeah.
So I do see your latest tweets in the in C's.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, I don't follow most people in Candid Friends.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I follow anyone in Candid Friends.
Yeah. I mean, you're not really missing much from me. It's basically outside of the stuff I finished. It's basically just an art feed.
Oh, no one's missing anything from me. I don't retweet or like anything. So and I only tweet like once every 4 months.
Yeah, yeah. I've noticed that. Like, you don't do much on Twitter.
Like I follow a bunch of people. They're all artists. They're all Japanese artists.
Yeah.
But I don't interact.
Mhm. Probably for the best, honestly. What the hell am I doing?
You're getting shot at, that's what.
Good stuff. Okay. So how much of the story have we read? Like,
Oh, that's a good question. Let me take a look. We're halfway.
okay, because I was going to say, like, it feels like I might be finished with these challenges before we even finish the chapter at this rate.
All right,
Oh,
I'm back.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hi.
We need someone to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, speaking of which, you guys confirmed when? At what point did you say this chapter will be over?
When
Well,
you...
we're halfway.
Yeah.
All right. This is probably the most steady episode we've done. In God, how long?
We're not even at the 1 hour mark. We're literally a few seconds from it.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Damn. I gotta make sure this never happens again.
No
Well,
context.
you
I'm just
can
gonna
start.
presume.
Hi.
No context. I gotta make sure this never happens again. Tanner, that can apply to so many things in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
he was talking about how like
Well, good news. Tanner can start right now.
yeah, basically episode's going like smoothly or whatever.
I mean, this is probably the last time that'll ever happen, so...
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, depending on like, I don't know if we're doing Scrappy's Mario thing after this, but like, yeah.
We're breaking away from the formula. We're experimenting. We're trying new things.
Because like outside of the Super Mario show, I don't know what we're doing.
I could fire out a few fics on the back burner. Me and Scrappy are working on some fics that we'll get around to finishing.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find something. It's still February. I could find another romance story, so yeah, we'll see. Or maybe we actually read my thing.
I feel like
I can go into a coma if you guys want to be down a reader, so you don't have to. So you don't have to do anything.
No, again, because of the watching the show, I would love to do a Venture Brothers fic because I've realized I can do the voice of like every character on that show.
like
We'll consider it.
But would you like to?
Oh God! At least let me be henchman 21.
So I'll let me watch the show and then maybe I'll look into that. So, yeah,
You know I could do Brock.
yeah.
Beta.
Reader.
Yes. Later. What are we doing again? We'll discuss future plans when this chapter's done.
Yeah.
right, yeah. Get the chapter done first.
Somewhere in the Badlands. This was not Mario's day. After sleeping for countless hours, he awoke with a huge headache and groggy limbs. At first, he only saw darkness, but his eyes soon adjusted to see that he was in a bamboo cage. The cage itself was part of an underground dungeon, with no windows to show whether it was night or day.
Mario, you could break out through that. It's bamboo. You fought a man in a metal suit earlier, so you figured a way around that.
He got manhandled by a guy in a metal suit.
That's fair.
Only a few lit torches in the stone-carved walls gave what little light there was. I'm guessing, okay, not the walls of the cage, the walls of the cave, I guess. It's like, wait, it's made out of bamboo and stone? Mamma mia! Groaned Mario as he came to. Where am I? What happened? He looked around and saw that he was all alone, with a pile of old rags piled in a corner. Oh, this is just great. Let me try again. Oh, this is just great. He moaned softly. First I lose Luigi. I lose Bruno. Now I'm stuck in this place. Can my luck get any worse? What's the matter with... Oh, what's the matter with me? Oh my gosh. What's the matter with me? I'm not talking to a pile of whatever that is over there. Probably some poor dead animal. What's a starved to death or stuck here? Oh no! What if I starve in here? Who's gonna stop the mastermind? Who's gonna save the world?
Mario?
Oh, not Luigi. I'm talking to myself. Who's gonna take care of the princess when I'm gone? Who's gonna look after the toads, and the apes, and the... Luigi?
Yeah.
Peeped the man wrapped up in a pile of rags, using them for a blanket. Mario sat there beside himself, coming to terms with the fact that his little brother was there beside him in the cage all along. He had found him at last. Luigi! He screamed of joy, jumping to his feet. Thank Grumpy, you're safe! Luigi giggled with delight as he welcomed the long-awaited hug. What happened to you, Fratellino?
Well,
Luigi began.
I made it to the place where King Rule was... Oh, by the way, you owe me a dinner.
Ah, gosh darn it. Oh, wait, that was actual line. I thought it was an ad-lib from you. I thought that was you ad-libbing.
No, I remember that detail. Do you entrust Tanner Brown to remember anything that happened in a previous episode of Storytime?
Well, Luigi did.
Sometimes you remember stuff, like, do you remember Nico throwing herself downstairs? Well, that was you ad-libbing, but...
Oh, that's a classic bit.
Oh, gosh.
I have no memory of this.
We'll tell you later. Okay, you owe me a dinner. Oh, thanks.
Anyway, this big gray gorilla fought me there, and I gave it my best shot, but he beat me. He knocked me off a cliff, and I fell for hours. Then the critters tied me up and took me on this long walk through the valley, and we stopped at some lava pits. Oh, and brother, you're not gonna believe who I ran into there. Italicized now.
Those long shell pikes, that long, slender stegosaurus tail, those curvy bull horns, those burning red eyes. Surely, also flashback, I think.
Yeah,
Surely-
yeah, flashback.
Surely, Luigi was staring right at his worst enemy, as well as his worst nightmare, the Mastermind. Critters dressed in grass skirts and white war paint genuflected before the beast standing on the edge of a cliff, overlooking the devastation of Kremkrock Industries. This reptilian, shadowed by the light of molten hot lava, was their one true king. Luigi, bound in hog ties, couldn't help but shiver as a cold sweat trickled down his neck. This was to be his end. Or was it? The huge Koopa standing before him slowly turned around. He had to move slowly, because he had aged so much that he needed a cane to support himself. His horns were like that of a Mecha Koopa, the biggest and toughest type of all Koopas. But there was something profoundly different about this one. His mane, pulled back in a ponytail, was long and silvery white, and he had a small goatee on his yellow chin to match it.
Guy Fieri?
His eyes, though red, were wrinkled and weary. He was slightly hunched over as he stood to face his captive. This was not the Mastermind after all. It was a Koopa indeed, but one of flesh and blood. Very old flesh and blood at that.
Oh my fucking god, it's Wart.
Wart's not a turtle.
It's a
From
reptile.
Mario 2 US?
Yeah, baby. The most famous Mario villain.
The elderly Koopa slinked over to Luigi to examine him carefully. He went as far as taking in deep sniffs to sample the human scent. He then leaned over and squinted his eyes, as if his sight was beginning to fail him. And yeah, you're the old one, Tanner.
Wait a minute.
Growled the old one, in a deep voice that seemed strangely familiar to Luigi.
He's not this tall. And he doesn't wear green.
The old Koopa turned to the Kremlings angrily.
Who is this man?
What gibberish are they giving the critters, man? Don't they have actual sound effects from the games?
Yeah, is this like a? I don't know what this is.
Like a sister tribe, I guess, but it's just gibberish. Like Akapango Ichi Amayata Kukaburai Poko, said the ringleader while still kneeling before his lord. The old Koopa moaned in frustration as he palmed his face.
Nincompoops! You brought me the wrong plumber!
This is his stunt double.
I mean, basically, when Mario gets hurt, Luigi has a fill-in for him. That's how Mario 1 worked. The critter chief seemed confused. Akapanga?
There are two of them numbskulls. The one I want is shorter and wears a red shirt. This is his no-account incompetent brother!
As he said these harsh words, the old Koopa poked his cane at Luigi's side.
Hey!
He muttered in...
Very, like, uncertain.
muttered and insulted Luigi. The oversized Koopa then turned his back on Luigi and snorted.
Take this one to the dungeon. He is of no use to me.
Paka, replied the critters. They quickly got to their feet, snatched up Luigi, and pulled him away from their lord. As they crawled away, they heard him scream.
And don't come back without the red plumber!
Paka! They yipped in fear.
And that's how I ended up here.
It
Luigi
sounded
concluded.
like Scrappy said Baka.
Backa,
Yeah.
backa.
Probably,
Backa,
I guess,
backa.
probably what they call him behind his back. And that's how I ended up here, Luigi concluded. Mario paused to think deeply about Luigi's description of the Elder Koopa. Big green Koopa, huh? You don't think Bowser? Luigi shook his head.
Nah, Bowser died a long time ago, bro. But this guy looks strangely familiar. I must have seen him before. Wait, that ponytail. That's it! He must be the younger Bowser. Scrappy?
That's you, Tanner.
Or Bowser
Or Bowser Jr., if you prefer.
Came that same husky old voice from behind the bars. The plumbers looked in awe at the sight of the Elder Koopa. Sure enough, he truly was Junior, the son of the old Bowser their clone counterparts once battled against. Junior! Gasped Mario. Look at you! You must be, what, 40 years, 40 years old? 50?
112 to be precise.
Replied the Koopa King.
Whoa!
Awed Luigi.
You're looking good for your age.
Mm,
Hummed the old king, trying to take the compliment.
I didn't really come here to reminisce. For 2 years now, I've been living in exile, moving from place to place before my evil brother could find and brainwash me. But when rumors of the Mario Brothers returning reached my ears, I had to act upon it. So I've teamed up with these critters, who are part of an ancient race that broke off of the Kremlin crew decades ago, in hopes to find you.
Why wouldn't you try and save your son Bruno? Mario couldn't help but ask. The Koopa King replied.
I knew that as long as I was alive, my brother wouldn't dare harm my son. He's nowhere near as much of a threat as I am.
But he's been captured. I saw him get brainwashed. Frowned Mario. The Koopa King's eyes flared.
What?
Junior paused to let his thoughts sink in. Then with newfound rage, he growled.
We don't have much time, Mario. You must help me find my son and get him back to us.
What about me?
Peeped Luigi, pointing to himself as if feeling left out.
Can I help?
Junior gave him a dirty look.
You? All the good you've done was get yourself caught.
Mario shielded his brother and barked. Hey! You don't know my Fratellino. He's as good a fighter as anybody.
You're afraid of what?
Fratellino, Mario explained. It means little brother.
Fine, whatever.
Junior puffed impatiently.
You can bring your, Fratellino with you. But you better be right about him. We'll need all the help we can get if we're gonna take the KS Devastator.
The what?
The
Found
KS...
the Mario brothers found the Marios in unison. Junior explained quickly.
The KS Devastator. It's the Mastermind's prized airship. He uses it all the time, so it must be here. If we take it, we can use it to storm the Dark Castle and hopefully put an end to his madness once and for all. So, are you with me or not?
Whenever Tanner says KS Devastator or whatever, I keep on thinking he's gonna say the KFC.
The KFC. He's flying a jet. gigantic chicken.
It's
Got a giant bucket of chicken, Mario.
Eating a giant bucket of chicken. It's an
It sounds like
airship, a bucket of chicken, and he's gonna dump fryer grease all over the Mushroom Kingdom.
fried mushroom.
Alright, sorry for derailing.
A giant bucket. It sounds like a Wario Land boss or something.
That does sound like a Wario Land boss.
Sounds pretty. That's amazing.
I'm gonna use that.
That is a very. You know what? That's specifically like something from Wario World.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so are you with me or not? Let us out of here first, and then we'll be with you. Narrowed Mario's eyes.
Oh, of course, Captain.
He's not. That sounded like he was referring to Mario as captain, but
Of course, Captain.
Yeah, I know
thank
that's
you.
a comma. That makes way more sense.
I read it like you did the first time as well.
Yeah.
Junior's roar was quickly responded to by a small troop of critters, one armed with a spear.
Oh God, I'm old. Okay.
Commanded their king. With one swift blow of his spear, the captain of the critter party sliced the bamboo cage's door wide open. Do they not have keys? As the plumber marched toward freedom, Junior said to the spear-armed critter,
Captain, take your troops to the Congo and find that airship. Hide there until your combat skills are needed. Now go!
the ringleader of the critter sat... Oh, that's not nice. The ringleader of the critters turned to face his lookalikes, and with his spear thrust in the air, he yelled, Akapunga... I don't know. Akapunga Pockle. Pockle! They yelled in reply, and together they ran off in a mad dash.
What's really
Luigi-
sad, I can't speak English, but I really wanted to cash in on the success of Minions.
Luigi furrowed his brows.
Wait, was Despicable Me even out by the time this was written?
No,
Words they know?
it was not, Raideran. It was not. Are those the only words they know? Asked Luigi. Junior grimaced at the comment as he watched the crocodiles take off.
Yeah, pretty much. So, are you two ready for some payback?
Mario cracked his knuckles with enthusiasm. Let's go! Diddy Kong Lake.
Fire and thunder, eh?
Mused Mastermind while talking through his radio attachment.
Yes, that's what they said.
Responded the voice of Spy Guy.
But I still think they're hiding something, Master. Shall I stick around for a while?
Keep those fools busy,
Oh, Master, you're like my father. He never got my name right.
Yeah, well, that tracks. You leave very little impression. Those fools busy, spy. Get there soon enough. When I do, I'll be ready for a complete takeover of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yes, Master. Spy Guy out.
Yeah, see you later, Mitchell.
No!
That's a what?
It's Michael!
Mitchell. Mitchell.
Sorry, I really should. I know I'm an evil overlord, but it's rude not to remember people's names. Anyway, I'm busy, so I must go now. Later, Adrian.
Adrian. Oh. The disrespect. Mastermind stood quietly on the deck of his airship, which nestled peacefully. I think it's what he was nestled. Which nestled peacefully by the large banana-shaped lake. The sun had gone down, and the Chaos Devastator was literally glowing with anticipation. At the front of it was a mast made up of three gigantic heads, shaped like dinosaurs of some sort. They would be his secret weapon.
I'll just set my ship's mast to bone chill mode. That should stop those blubbers from using their elements against me.
With the same arm he used to communicate with Spy Guy via radio, the mastermind started to push a new set of buttons. Within moments, the eyes of the three-headed mass of his airship flashed blue lights. As the mastermind waited patiently for his enemies to arrive, a set of critters in grass skirts and war-painted faces lied in ambush. I think it's what we lay in ambush. They were hiding in the tall grass. They weren't alone. The Zinger swarm, along with their queen, were also lying in wait. Only they hid in the trees instead of the grass. Everything was in place for a perfect ambush. All that was needed was for someone to make the first move. That someone would be DK and his guerrilla troops. I guess we're getting some guerrilla warfare today. Marching confidently.
No, you're jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun.
Gosh damn it!
Yeah, I was gonna point that out, but I wanted to wait until you stumbled across it. Don't worry, I was gonna make the same joke before I saw that.
Marching confidently through the Congo with drums beating. Mastermind turned his head slightly toward the sight of torches beaming through the forest.
What's this?
He mused softly to himself.
Are they gorillas or simply gorillas?
What the Mastermind didn't know was that these apes were armed with newly reprogrammed Cyberdos, which they held like guns on their arms. Oh my gosh.
That is a person, like a half person you're holding. You're essentially holding a guy with a prosthetic leg like a gun.
A robot burla turns into like a cannon. That sounds like a toy line from the 90s. This whole story feels like G.I. Joe Extreme.
It totally does, and I'll be honest, I kind of vibe with it. I do vibe. Yeah.
Future Mario Brothers from Kenner Toys. Which they held like guns under their arms. That's metal as hell. I can respect that.
That is fucking sick.
The little Donkey Kong led the march onto the long bamboo stick. He stopped them by the lake's edge, across from the menacing airship. The bold little ape then waved his stick around and screamed loudly for the whole Congo to hear. He declared war.
Cannon barrels!
Commanded Mastermind.
Launch!
From the sides of the airship sprouted cannons, aiming towards the gorillas. They spat out round balls with bullet bill faces and proved to be twice as fast as any normal bullet bill could. But the apes were ready. They held up their Cyberdos and cranked their tails like jack-in-the-box pedals. The Cyberdos responded with their own egg grenades, which canceled out the cannon bills in midair. That's when the Zingers decided to attack. Queen Bee flushed red with rage and led her team in a collective dive bomb toward the Mastermind himself. Caught off guard, the Mastermind roared and swatted at them with all of his duplicate cybernetic limbs. Oh gosh, darn it. Goodness. Acapulco! Screamed the captain of the critters. With spears in hand, they all jumped into the lake and swam toward the KS Devastator.
Armadillos!
Responded Mastermind quickly. On cue, a set of robotic armadillos charged from the cabin of the ship and met with their master on deck. They leapt from the side of the deck and curled into cannonballs before launching themselves into the water. From the opposite side of the attacks sat King Jr. and the Mario Brothers, watching closely for the Mastermind to turn his back to them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now is our chance.
Whispered Jr., who was armed with a spiked mace, pardon me.
They've got cannons. You should probably have a bit more than that, my dude.
No, it'll be like baseball.
Oh,
Mario Superstar Baseball.
yeah.
Let's see. Charge, Junior said, and Italian is like my. If sleep paralysis demons were a language, Italian would be it. Oteniamoli. There we are.
That'd be great.
Pardon?
That would be like haunting because if you had an Italian sleep paralysis demon, you're either gonna get like a Gandolfini-esque tough guy who's like, "Where's my money? Where's my fucking money?" Or you're getting like a guy who's just hovering above you, cooking the meatball.
Cooking a meatball.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
But you eat it, which is honestly scarier.
let's see. Oh, Tanya Molly cried. Tanya Molly. Hope I pronounced that right. Cried out the charging plumbers, armed with nothing more than their wits. I like how Junior didn't even give them weapons. Some of you may die, and that is a risk I'm willing to take.
They
Alright.
are the weapon.
Severely outnumbered, so I only have one request for all of you. Die for me. That is all.
While the mastermind was still swatting zingers like flies, the corner of his red eye picked up on the shadow of a Koopa. He turned his head and saw King Jr. running straight for the airship. While he seemed to be prepared for everything else, this took him completely by surprise.
No, it can't be.
But it was.
Brutus.
No, the Mecha Koopa that's Junior speaking right now.
Brutus.
Roared the Mecha Koopa, waving his mace in the air.
Your madness ends now.
The Marios would have beaten him to the ship, but just as they were ready to super jump onto the deck, a blast of icy wind stopped them in their tracks. Mario and Luigi, already half frozen, paused in shock. 3 huge blue heads reared themselves from the ship's mast. They, exact copies of an old nemesis called Bone Chill, stared the plumbers down with icy blue eyes. They locked their vision on the little humans and could not take their eyes off them. The Bone Chills, their necks made of chains, lunged at their prey. Luigi managed to super jump out of the way, but not Mario. He took the full force of one Bone Chill head that basically rammed into him. While nearly flattened on the Bone Chill's face, Mario desperately grabbed onto it and summoned a small burst of flames from his hands. Fire! But all that did was make the Bone Chill angry and puff icy breath on the plumber. Mario fell to the ground with ice crystals all over him.
Hang on, bro!
Called Luigi from the edge of the ship's deck. He aimed his pointer fingers like guns at the center Bone Chill head and summoned up.
Underhand!
While a pure lightning bolt shot out from Luigi's fingers to the Bone Chill head, all it felt like was a small static shock to the robot.
Not even a dent?
Gasped the green plumber before the other two Bone Chill heads rose up to meet him on deck. A quick super jump was enough to dodge their chomping jaws. Back on solid ground, Luigi landed safely next to Mario, who was still frozen. With some static still flickering from his fingers, Luigi needed only to touch Mario's shoulder to shock him back into coherence. "Whoa!" shouted Mario as he revived.
We need a new plan, bro.
Frowned Luigi as he watched the Bone Chill heads regrouping toward them. Mario took a deep breath and plotted. Okay, you go this way, I'll go that way. We'll meet in the middle.
Right. Which way?
You go left.
Right.
No, left!
That's what I said.
You said right.
No, you go right, right?
Left! No, wait, run! The boys took off in separate directions just as the Bone Chills closed in on them. Luigi jumped on top of the center Bone Chill, hoping to catch the attention of one of the other two. It worked. The Bone Chill at the far left shot spear-shaped ice crystals at him. He jumped out of the way, and the center head he stood on took part of the shots. Though it was slightly dazed, it wasn't quite out of commission yet. Mario ran all the way around the ship as the Bone Chill of the far right was in hot pursuit. Though he couldn't jump as high as Luigi, he did manage to dodge one ice spear after another. One of the spears, in fact, cut across the lake. One of the spears, in fact, cut across the lake and pulverized one of the apes on shore. This made DK and his troops all the angrier, and they charged straight into the lake to finish what they had started.
Damn, they were you guys were sitting there that whole time. But no, this is a fucking Pearl Harbor situation, apparently. You only get involved when it affects you.
Anyway, meanwhile, Mario's improvised plan started to take shape. As he jumped around the ship from one direction and Luigi from the other. Okay. They waited until they were right in each other's faces before Luigi grabbed his brother's hands and super jumped out of the way. This forced the Bone Chill to collide with each other, and when they did, they went down like trucks on a highway. Standing on the edge of the ship's deck, the Mario Brothers stood and watched as their ally, King Bowser Jr., had already scaled up the ship and faced off against the Mastermind. The two Koopa brothers had engaged in a one-on-one battle between Spiked Mace and Steel Fist, neither one letting up or even breaking a sweat.
Thought I was dead, didn't you, Brutus?
Hissed the flesh and blood Koopa.
I hoped for your sake that you were,
replied the metallic one.
Hatwig, you wouldn't have to suffer anymore. I've suffered long enough. It's your turn now.
Junior swatted at Mastermind's head, but the bigger Koopa was more agile than he looked. Mastermind then swished his tail around and maneuvered it to curl under Junior's feet. As he fell over, Mastermind grinned.
You once told me that a true Koopa uses his tail. Thanks for the advice, brother.
You! Called out Mario. How about you try a little some of this? Fire hand!
Thunder hand!
Way to make me sound weak, Luigi. Echoed Luigi, as both of them fired waves of fireballs and thunderbolts at the Mastermind. The huge metallic Koopa was quick to shield himself with his shell, which took the full force of their attacks with barely a scratch. Shouldn't the lightning have electrocuted him?
Is that? I mean, that's metal, right? So that's corrosive.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Legends.
I think I warped you. Can you try that one more time?
And they called you legends.
Thank you. He mocked them. Junior, still mad with rage, got back on his feet steadily before roaring loudly.
Roar, Exney! Your fight is with me, you backstabbing traitor!
He and the Mastermind lost claws and began to wrestle, forgetting about the Mario Brothers. Mario was ready to hit the Mastermind with another fireball, but Luigi stopped him by tapping his shoulder. Curious, Mario paused to see what made Luigi so suddenly nervous. The green one pointed behind them. The three bone-chilled heads were back and staring them down for one last attack. Luigi was ready to jump, but Mario tugged at his pants strap. The red one nodded to his brother, letting him know that he had another plan. They waited for the bone chills to recharge their energy and open up their toothy jaws. Luigi started to sweat fearfully as he saw their ice breath grow bigger and bigger. Steady, Mario reassured him. Wait for it. The ice breath started to form one big cyclone of ice, poised to explode on them. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh! With one huge jump, the Marios dodged the Bone Chill Blizzard, of which the Mastermind was now in the firing range of. Junior had seen it coming and made sure his brother was in its path, and so he shoved him with all his might toward the Blizzard's blast. Not even the Mastermind himself, who seemed so indestructible, could resist such a fate as being encased in crystal. Nearing the end of the battle, the Zingers, Apes, and Critters joined forces to defeat what remained of the Mastermind's army. The ship was theirs, and just when the Bone Chills were ready to attack the Mario Brothers again, they were suddenly pulled down by their chain necks by an unknown force. Mario, Luigi, and Junior peeked over the edge to see who it was that had the Bone Chills subdued so suddenly. To their surprise, it was Bruno. Somehow, after losing his brain-jacking headband, he had found his way to this place. With the Bone Chills' necks in his grasp, he reached for the control buttons on the back of each of their heads and switched them off. They reverted into lifeless ship mass. Once Bruno climbed aboard, he joined forces with his father and the Mario brothers to push the Encased Mastermind off the ship. He fell like a rock onto the lake shore, where the jungle allies cheered and danced around him victoriously.
This is, oh man, he keeps switching tones from like gritty, dark fic to just like Illumination Party. We got the Illumination movie. We got the fucking dance party after defeating the villain.
Let's see. He fell like a rock onto the lake shore, where the jungle allies cheered and danced around him victoriously.
It won't be long until he gets out of that ice.
Found Junior.
Let's get out of here while we have the chance. Or like, I don't know, one of you push him over. Something that would kill him.
But father, asked Bruno, why don't we just finish him off?
You don't know him like I do, son. He'll find a way to break that ice. And when he does, he'll be plenty mad.
That is a valid reason as to why you should finish him off right now.
Yeah, like, why didn't you finish him off?
Oh,
Luigi's-
well, he'll fuck us up if he comes back. Exactly!
Luigi had taken hold of the ship's steering wheel as the Koopa family
it.
talked and smiled.
I love it when villains are stupid.
Heroes in this case.
Yeah, he's not even being a villain right now.
I get, you know what? He's on the side of good, but he's still Bowser's son. He's still got
right, yeah.
still got villain stupidity in him.
Always has.
Hmm.
Let's see. Luigi had taken hold of the ship's steering wheel as the Koopa family talked and smiled.
Where to next, boys?
Did that pick up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
To Dinosaur Island.
commanded Junior.
Once we'll take it back and have our own Koopa army on our side once again.
Well said, father.
It
Bruno
was
balled
not.
his
It was a terrible line.
Well said, father. Bruno balled his fist as he cheered. It's good. It's so good to have you back again. Junior smiled warmly at him.
It's good to be back.
Okay. How do you press start?
Asked Luigi at the wheel.
One side, amateur.
Replied Junior as he gently pushed Luigi aside to take the wheel. All he had to do was press the center of the wheel, and the airship's rockets were set off with a boom. United for the first time since who knows when, DK, the apes, the zingers, and the critters all waved their goodbyes to their airborne allies. They rejoiced as the KS Devastator floated into the clouds, knowing that Donkey Kong Island was finally theirs once again. That next day, abandoned and left for permanently frozen by the lakeside, the mastermind had quietly and very patiently chiseled his way to freedom. He coughed and panted for air as ice and water dripped off his steel back and mask. His heart ran cold with bitter defeat, but in time he would smile again. Then he would laugh. Of course, the airship still had a few hidden traps inside it, like Silverback, still entombed in a chamber from which he would emerge as the ultimate marauding machine. Those on board the airship would never would have guessed that he would soon wake up and go on a rampage. The mastermind crawled to his feet, balled his fists in the air, and let out a mighty laugh.
You haven't won anything, you fools. Go on and try to take my castle. You won't even get there. The war is far from over.
To be continued for 15 years.
To be continued, never.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, don't say never. I took me 8 years to update my Mario story.
Holy Christ.
Yeah, when did this last chapter get uploaded?
June
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is done. This is done.
Yeah, I was expecting a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I just realized, they left him, like, even ignoring the whole, like even ignoring the idea, oh no, we can't free him from the ice yet, he would probably beat us in a fight. Like, you abandoned him on the Donkey Kong Island, like, even if he can't get off the island, he's probably just going to like murder every monkey,
Yeah.
critter, and zinger on there as just payback.
It's honestly worse. Like now you've basically committed tens of thousands of indirect murders. Just you
All right, we have literally we brought war to your island. We're leaving the villain to the. We are leaving you in.
Scrappy, you okay
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Dipped.
You want to try that again?
Dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see not Tanner. Harry's game is his Twitch stream is stopped on my end.
Oh, it should still be going.
On my end, I said, which is like a sign that I might probably cut out.
Yeah, when you say stuff like that, I worried that like things broke.
So yeah, Mario and friends like yeah, good. They helped the indigenous, but they also left the friggin' terrorists there. And just like, yep, we're done. Mission accomplished.
They're true to their Italian roots by terrorizing indigenous people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is the end of the story. Unfortunately, I gotta say it's a nice cliffhanger in a way. Like, yeah, oh my gosh, they left the villain like kind of gestating in their mutation chamber to attack them on a ship. Like,
Yeah.
that's a cool cliffhanger. Like, I could imagine like, yeah, I'm theory crafting here. Like, they're flying to Dinosaur Island or Dinosaur Land, I think is what it's actually called.
Mm-hmm.
This mutated silverback comes out, like wrecks the whole place, and they have to basically do a crash landing, and that's like its own arc.
Yeah, maybe
could have been
follow Mastermind like attempting to hunt for them, or maybe like rerouting his plans, realigning his priorities or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could have been interesting. Like now, I kind of want to write the sequel to this now. So
Just like send the guy a DM and just like, yo, can I continue your story that you stopped in like 2008 or whatever it was?
I'm just if I ever don't finish a series like what I'm doing for Deadpool, I'm just gonna end it with like if that series never finishes, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, he died. He's dead. His actor got removed, and he is dead. That's how it's gonna end.
Wow. You just say some like crazy cliffhanger, and then you just never work on it anymore. It's like, and you just make a post like, "Oh yeah, he died by the way. Bye."
Will had 6 Modelos while fighting. Had 6 Modelos while fighting Doctor Doom near a volcano, and one thing led to another. And I mean, you can't heal from being incinerated. So he's done.
That's what you think.
So, yeah, I enjoyed this chapter. It was just a decent fight chapter. Nice to see Bowser Jr. again.
Yeah.
That was. I'm glad I went with like. I feel like I could have gone with a better voice for him.
It sounds like he sounds like his dad now, so I think it fits.
I was also trying to make sure it sounded somewhat elderly.
Yeah, he's said to have like gray or white hair, so I guess he's older now than Bowser was like in his prime.
I guess we can, filling in the blanks, we can assume that the actual non-clone Mario Brothers fought with Junior in the same way they fought with Bowser.
Probably,
yeah.
The backstory, like as mentioned in Chapter 1, I think, is that the plumbers didn't finally deal with Bowser until they were... By the time they dealt with Bowser, I guess Junior and the Koopalings, the brothers themselves were pretty old, so...
Okay.
That's why that's basically, like, yeah, like...
It's good that, like, this is probably the first time they've dealt with actual war, because, like, Bowser and Mario's rivalry is... I have to respect, as an artist myself, I have to respect their commitment to routine and scheduling.
Yeah.
They knew how, they were like, okay, I'm going to kidnap her at 6, I'm going to come over, you're going to go through 8 worlds, and then, we're going to have our little fight in my castle. And they knew to do that every few months. They gotta respect the grind.
I mean that, like, Mario 3 as well is, like, confirmed
Yeah.
to be like a play, so
It's just a job to all of them.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, they go golfing and shit too. So
yeah.
They race every now and then.
yeah.
you know who they don't invite to any of that stuff though? Wart.
Wart.
Like Mario really hates Wart.
That's how you know Wart is a bad guy.
And
I mean,
yeah.
I guess you could make the argument like, does war actually exist?
Because, yeah, exactly. Mario just dreamed about Wart.
Yeah, and I mean, he's in Link's Awakening as well, so I guess he's just a resident of the dream world.
Maybe like Zelda is a fantasy novel in Mario's world, and he read some of it before he went to bed. I don't know.
Maybe.
That makes
That's
sense.
also funny because it means he didn't even dream about like Link or Ganon. He dreamed about like one of the side characters.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That makes sense. That sounds like a dream. So, all right, what was I gonna
It's
say?
why his painting is. There's a painting of Mario in Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's that in Ocarina of Time as well.
Oh, you're right.
Is Mario real? I saw Mario at the Dunkin' Donuts a couple days ago. It's a prank?
Oh dear. So yeah, I enjoy this chapter, and the story is definitely unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can write this anytime, but it's like it's like the perfect 2000s fan fiction in several ways.
I did cringe at it. Weirdly enough, it does have a lot of the annoying like. I hate to attribute it to MCU, but it has a bit of that annoying like. That style of humor creeps in on occasion, and
You can't blame the MCU. The MCU was barely a thing when this was written.
Yeah.
This was ahead of the mark or whatever.
Yeah.
Whedon
Yeah,
humor
I know
does
when
not start
Iron
with
Man
Joss
came
Whedon.
out.
Like let's be fair.
Yeah.
I kind of get what you mean though.
Oh my god, yeah, the first Iron Man came out by this point, but like only the first Iron Man.
Like the
Yeah.
who's on bit.
I mean, that's just standard. That's just standard comedy. I can't. That's
Yeah.
nothing. Like whether you think that's like totally appropriate is another thing. But that's like a standard comedy bit in for decades.
Yeah. I guess it felt very weird
Mm.
place. But I thought this was very good. There are a lot of like cliches being used here, like the future has no certainty and whatever the hell the line opened with, but you can appreciate that. You can appreciate just how earnestly committed it is to being like this this post-apocalyptic dark fic about Mario Brothers. It is why fanfiction is charming.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want with like these series, and
Yeah.
I like I appreciate them just committing to just a really weird variant on Mario's species. Like I can visualize them well in my head, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. Oh, this is like everyone in middle school. If you were like in middle school and you were that kid who was like really into Mario and Sonic, you spent hours online in middle school. This is like the type of series you would write,
Probably.
Yeah,
What
like
was I gonna say?
I was watching Newgrounds parodies of Mario. This is what you would make.
What was I gonna say? I'm looking at footage of Harry's Spider-Man game right now. Like this is. You mean Harry? Says Nova. Anyway, I'm looking at footage of Harry's Spider-Man game. This is Edge of Time, and speaking of Spider-Man, this is Mario. Okay, who remembers this '90s Spider-Man cartoon, Spider-Man Unlimited?
I've
Yes.
heard of it.
Both. I've heard of both. I have yet to check out Unlimited. I've seen bits of the '90s cartoon.
Spider-Man Unlimited, for those who aren't aware, that was the one that followed up like the '94 cartoon. It was just Spider-Man getting stuck in the future with like these human-animal hybrids. Like everything's weird. He's been like future AU versions of like Mary Jane and the Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically that's future Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that did make me think though. Like Spider-Verse. You've got to imagine if I wanted Spider-Verse to Peter to come across like comic Peter 616 Peter.
I mean, isn't the sequel basically just putting like every version of Spider-Man ever?
Yeah, but I would
basically?
love it. If came across a Gwen variant, and they're like, "I'm sorry, this must be very traumatic for you," and he's like, "No, not really. Do you know how many times I have seen my loved ones die, and also how many times I've seen them revived? It's just, oh, there's another Gwen."
Oh wow!
Jeez. So, Rand, you weren't here for every chapter, as far as I know.
No, I joined in like chapter 3 or something.
Yeah, I remember. Like, I don't remember if Ped was in any of the chapters, but yeah, I know at least Raider was put into the story like after like, what is it?
Partway through.
Yeah, partway through, because like he and Ped weren't part of Storytime when we started this. I think. I could be wrong.
No.
I can't remember. We started reading this like in March or April of last year, I think. So
Yeah.
you definitely weren't in the first episode for this, but I'm not sure if you would like join Storytime. But yeah, this for what you were around for. What did you think?
I think it's fine. I'm like head empty right now.
It's cool, man.
Like Harry, Mario Kart got me exhausted.
I'm not surprised. That was quite the session.
So yeah, I enjoyed. I just like it's a very lived-in fan fiction. Like they definitely give everyone some personality. I mean, maybe not really good personality, but
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Wario did not really have an arc. I'm assuming if this continued, he would have. But as it stands, Mario has not overcome his racism at all.
I don't think you would. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you will.
You don't?
No, I don't.
The arc?
I do not see the arc coming.
That'd be great if he just had a completely different arc. Like he learns to be less stubborn or arrogant, but also he's still super racist.
Wow.
and I'm not going to get into the author's like headspace on this, but
I mean, this
I'm sure they were gonna.
again. This is 2008. Like, God knows what they're doing now or what they think.
Yeah.
I was going to say like, I'm sure they would try to build up as something, even if it was going to be like, oh, you're a credit to your race kind of thing. But as it is, it's just Mario kind of being an asshole. Like, I guess he learns to appreciate Luigi more.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, yeah.
Like there were definitely some.
Even though you look green, I know you're not a reptile.
Anyway, so there are obviously some threads that were gonna get continuously pulled if this story continued to go. Luigi with Dahlia, whatever happens to Bruno and Sherry, Dinosaur Island,
Yeah.
Silverback. I'm sure they would have probably visited like if they were integrating stuff from Donkey Kong Country, then they would have probably visited like what's the name of Wario's like town that he resides in.
In Wario, where specifically?
Yeah, like it's called Diamond City, I think.
Diamond City.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't integrate some stuff from that. Like maybe actually like this old cleric witch who can help them.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I don't even know the city he lived in had a name.
It does.
Interesting.
Like there's a whole city of I don't know, like a small village or something, and Mona's descendants like just are they do all the jobs in that city.
Mona and Wario's descendants. So it's like, oh man, they're half hot. They're half hot, but they also have massive pink noses and the male mustaches.
Wow.
So do the female.
So, yeah, there's stuff you could have done. There's additional stuff you could have done with the story, and kind of makes me sad it didn't continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like, I wouldn't mind seeing this story continue, because it does a lot of interesting things.
Wario is still alive and not a clone because, again, he still doesn't feel like dying.
Yeah!
So you do remember old gags. So, yeah, it was a decently fun read and had potential for further improvement. That's about all I've got at this point. I guess that leads me just to, I guess, future plans with an asterisk.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what are we doing after this?
Okay, well, since Tanner, since you're in our like vicinity for the time being, I guess we'll do what I tried to avoid for so long and just double up on Mario stories.
That,
I feel like we may as well just get it out of the way.
I mean, that's fair. And I will try to write that other fic with you. Honestly, the first of the three now fics we had, I'll be honest, I kind of just want to skip to the second one because the source material we're parodying, we both don't seem to have a whole lot of investment in it. That's
You're saying we don't have investment in the source material for like the first planned story.
Yeah.
Well, the source material isn't really any one specific show; it's more just a genre, and I have some investment in it.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, we'll see.
I'm very excited. The third one, oh god, it's 4. Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
So with that said, I guess we will, after a nearly like over 2-year absence, return to the Super Mario Show.
And I've got some work to do to get the audio sorted.
Yeah, we'll try to get as many returning casters. It's gonna be me and Tanner, unless Nova feels like coming out of retirement for Peach. But like we're gonna have several recasts because last time we did a chapter of Mario Show, Ethan was still showing up in episodes.
I haven't heard from Ethan in ages, like not even just for story time.
Probably found better things to do with his life. He's an adult. No, he's not an adult now. What am I
He's
saying?
like 15 or something.
Yeah, he's the youngest out of all of us.
There's still hope for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to prepare myself, get back in like that specific headspace for Mario, assign new actors for the characters because we got new characters and yeah, look legit. What? I'm gonna presume you're done voicing like Toad at this point, Tanner.
Yeah. Yes. Again, unless I can find it, I'd have to really find a good place to put all the soundproofing equipment, because otherwise, no. I live in not my own apartment, and I would like to stay
Let's
there.
not get evicted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to find another game to play. I've got ideas, so it should be fine. Is that it? Do we have anything else?
I don't.
Yeah.
Testing.
Hi. Yes.
Response.
I could tell you, Scrappy, I might tell you an idea I had for the
Damn it.
the one of the fics I came up with. Like, I came up with an idea for a B plot for the one where Stan gets diagnosed with a little something.
I vaguely remember this, and anyway, okay, so right, I know you obviously have not read any of the chapters of my story, like.
No, if I join in, I'm gonna need a summary because I'm not going to remember to read it.
Yeah. You'd have a lot to go
Okay.
through as well if you did that.
I mean, most of the chapters aren't particularly long. Like you probably
Right.
by the time it would take me to stumble through an explanation, it would probably just behoove you better to read it, or at least some of them.
Yeah.
Like chapter 1 and 2 could be read in like 10 minutes. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
You and Pedriva, hopefully, because we're gonna need some people.
Yeah, isn't the chapter you did like have like a bunch of characters and it's like really long?
It's the longest thing I've ever written that's been published to fanfiction.net. So,
My oh my.
so
Okay, I was gonna ask you if it's the longest like chapter we've read, but then it's like nah. It's just it's total drama is like never gonna be topped. I don't think.
no, not like it's the longest individual chapter I've ever written, but like yeah. So what was I gonna say?
Yeah.
So myself, Tanner, Pedriva, Raideran, and our distant guest, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that we can handle that with just the 4/5 of us.
And then we'll just do stuff after that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm sorry
I'm-
if I'm being much. I am drained.
No, I understand. Like you had to do two raspy voices conversing with each other. Like, awesome, yeah, great job voicing the mastermind. It was
And
sounded like you were having fun.
and apparently everyone was tired today.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. If I can pat myself on the back, I'm really proud of basically the line reads I gave for every character.
You did pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, like you were good. Luigi was good as usual, and Mastermind and Bowser Jr. I liked that. They were good performances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeebs, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
G.
That
So
I do love. Again, I love the earnestness of that scene. I do love just like let's try to have this emotional weight in something with this source material.
Yeah.
so yeah, I think we got some semblance of a plan for next week or whenever we record again.
Mm-hmm. At least for the next episode. God knows what we're doing after that.
Yeah, I don't know what my hours are going to look like next week. They are brutal this week. I work from... God, what is it? I'm sure everyone cares.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I work
Garbage.
from... Good lord, it is going to be from just straight Monday to Friday. Oh, God.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll try to accommodate your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like Mario Show, just so we can get that behind us, and after that, we look at the backlog. I guess
It's
it's a freaking free for all.
free for all. Yeah, I was wondering what the right phrase was.
Yeah.
Like I do want to write some more stuff like down the line for different franchises.
I kind of want to look into the Homestar stuff and see if those are any good. Or like the I think we had like
Homestar story, like a Team Fortress story, I think would be funny.
Yeah, Team Fortress 2 and like I think I found a few Batman fics, but like I need to like actually read them, see if they're any good.
I don't know which character I'd voice in a TF2 fic, but I sure as hell could do it better than any of you chumps.
So, yeah, that's it. We're, pardon me.
That was.
I think that's it. We're good. We all good?
I think so.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, we can just stop. Also, this challenge sucks ass. Bye.
All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves and happy belated Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Yes. I didn't know our audience was allowed to celebrate that.